Pittsburgh Steelers fans, what is going on? This is Jeff Hartman, editor of BehindTheSteelCurtain.com, simulcasting this episode. We're live right now on YouTube. You can find us there. Go to YouTube, search engine BTSC Steelers Radio. We're also on Facebook Live. You can find us there, facebook.com/BehindTheSteelCurtain. And we want to talk about the Steelers' victory over the Eagles. Now, you might be saying, Jeff, what's going on, man? They had the game Thursday night. It's Friday night. I decided to wait because a lot of Steeler fans didn't get to watch the game live. You might have followed on Behind the Steel Curtain. You might have followed on our Twitter feed. You might have gotten a lot of news and information from our website, BehindTheSteelCurtain.com today. But the Steelers game was replayed at 4 o'clock today. Now, and that was Eastern time. If you're listening and thinking, dang it, I missed it, they're going to re-air it again Saturday morning. Check it out on NFL Network. I want to say it's 10 a.m., but I could be wrong. So check your local listings and check it out. But I wanted to wait because I wanted everyone to get a chance to watch it and see what everyone thought. Because honestly, I actually didn't think it was that bad of a game. I mean, for a first, let's say for a week one preseason game, it kept my attention. I'll put it that way. I'm not saying it was great. It kept my attention. And that was because there were a lot of storylines that I was interested in seeing. So you had the Mason Rudolph storyline. You had John Bostick in there. You had Joshua Dobbs and how does he perform and stuff of that nature. Really, it's one of those situations where for the first time in a long time, there were players that I was excited to watch play in the second, third, and fourth quarters of the football game. And the Steelers, they played well. I mean, you have to understand 31-14. Yes, there were a lot of field goals kicked in the second half, but I like the 3 takeaways from the defense. I don't care who was throwing the football for the Eagles. It's the fact that they took the football away. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not going to say anything about negative about that. I'm not going to be that type of person that says, oh, well, it's just not they're just not that good. They're playing against third and fourth strings. Screw that. Mason Rudolph's playing against third and fourth strings players, but guess who's blocking for him? Third and fourth string offensive line. I was very impressed with Mason Rudolph. I thought Joshua Dobbs, as inconsistent as he's been, took a step forward. Okay, and that might not have been a huge step. And I want to talk about Dobbs here in a second. Now, I do have some questions coming in on our Facebook Live feed. I want to answer those as they come, and I'll bounce back and forth. So those on YouTube, I'll make sure I say the question so that we are all on the same page here. And also, if you're listening on podcasts, you can get us on iTunes. Type in the standard is a standard. Someone asked real bluntly, Mason Rudolph or Joshua Dobbs. I don't think there's any way that the Pittsburgh Steelers get rid of Joshua Dobbs. Mason Rudolph. I, in the back of my mind, kind of hope that the team would keep 4 quarterbacks, but it's a numbers game. You only have 53 slots, and you can't always say that it's going to be, it's okay to keep 4 quarterbacks because that 2 of them are probably going to be inactive every single week. So Mason Rudolph is going to stay. That means that Joshua Dobbs, in my opinion, is the one to go. With that said, I'm writing an article, actually finished the article. It's going to publish tomorrow on Saturday, and it's based on if the Steelers can get Joshua Dobbs to continue to play well this preseason and play him a lot, because Landry Jones, the Steelers know what Landry Jones brings to the table. Whether you like him or not, he's going to be the backup, and he's going to be the number 2. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm playing Joshua Dobbs the first quarter and most of the second quarter, maybe a quarter and a half in the second week. Why? Because I want Joshua Dobbs to show something. Because to me, it's the win-win. If he goes out there and plays really, really well, then he's going to be possibly pushing Landry Jones for the backup spot. I don't think it's going to happen, but he could. If he goes out and plays really, really well as well, also, there might be a team out there that has an injury at quarterback, a backup quarterback position is available. They might want to upgrade their backup quarterback, and maybe you can get a trade. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get a starter for Joshua Dobbs because that's just not going to happen. What they might be able to get is someone like a serviceable offensive lineman, a veteran backup, someone that's versatile that can play inside and outside, a Chris Hubbard type prior to his big contract with the Browns. Maybe you could then leverage Joshua Dobbs into a trade. Kevin Colbert is not immune to trading players before the start of the season. He made trades for Vance McDonald, J.J. Wilcox. They picked up Joe Hayden before last season. That wasn't a trade. It was a free agent acquisition, technically. But you get my drift. So Joshua Dobbs, although I think he's going to be gone, the Steelers have to hope that he is better because it could mean good things for them. Okay, in my opinion, it's a win-win. All right, so like I said, I don't think Landry Jones is going anywhere. He has 1 year left on his current contract. He will be the backup this year. I think Mason Rudolph will be the third. He'll be a guy that's going to take this year to learn. And as you saw in the game Thursday night, he needs some time to learn. He's not comfortable under center. When he was at Oklahoma State, he essentially played in the shotgun 99% of the time. Okay, so he's got to learn. Now, Bill has asked me several times on Facebook, and I apologize. How is BJ Finney? BJ Finney left the game with a left thigh contusion, a quadricep contusion, meaning he got probably a knee to the thigh, something of that nature. It should not be serious. I wouldn't expect Finney to miss any time, but at the same time, when you see BJ Finney go down, you're thinking, oh, holy crap, what's going to happen with our offensive line depth? Because if he goes down, he's your interior depth. And when you already have Pouncey not playing, Foster's out, and he's supposed to fill in for Ramon Foster, it kind of makes you sweat a little bit. That's what I was talking about. If they could leverage maybe some extra offensive linemen, maybe with a trade somewhere. So, all right. I apologize for going off on that little tangent. So let's get back to these questions. I know a lot of people have them. So John asked, can Patterson, he's talking about Damon Patterson. He's the one that played his butt off yesterday. I think he had 6 catches for 77 yards. That was most of any. He had that tremendous touchdown catch, followed it with a backflip, and then he stuck the landing. It was pretty impressive. If you saw it, if you haven't seen it, it's easy to see. Go to BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. We have the highlight there. Can he make the team? Yes. But he has to show versatility. So he played well in week 1. He needs to continue to play well. He needs to show that he can play special teams. People forget all the time that a lot of these players, their trip to the roster, the 53-man roster, is through special teams. It's not through anything else. It's not through, playmaking in preseason. Because let's be honest, if Patterson makes the team, he's still going to be behind Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, and Darius Hayward-Bay. Why Darius Hayward-Bay? Because he plays special teams, and that's what I'm saying. So I do think he has a chance. He has to play well, though. Keep that in mind. Let's see here. Someone asked, how excited can we, the fans, be about Terrell Edmunds? I think you can be excited, but I would temper the excitement because I don't think he's going to start. I don't know why, and I want to rewatch the game. I recorded it on the rerun. I watched it live on my computer. But I want to watch it again. People on BehindTheSteelCurtain.com were really, really upset with Sean Davis. And I saw him a couple times make have some gaffes, and it's week 1 in the preseason. And people need to remember he's playing a different position. He's moved from strong to free safety. He has to learn not only that new position, but he has a whole new cast of characters at the safety position. Gone's Robert Golden, gone's Mike Mitchell. So in's Morgan Burnett, in Terrell Edmunds, in Marcus Allen. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't want to rush to judgment on him when he's having all this change around him. But Terrell Edmunds, I don't think is going to play a ton. He will play. I think he's going to be a dime backer, someone that's going to come in and fill that, that inside linebacker role as a safety. And I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be a huge playmaker, but I think he's going to be good. You should be excited, but don't expect the world from Terrell Edmunds. Not yet, anyway. Let's see here. Someone else made a comment about tackling. Yeah, in the first quarter, I watched that, and they had talked about over and over again. You hear every report from the beat writers that are there at Latrobe at St. Vincent College talking about how the emphasis this year is on tackling. Keith Butler and Mike Tomlin are talking about tackling, and then they come out and they miss tackle, and it was frustrating to watch. However, I did think it improved. John Bostick, who was inside linebacker alongside Vince Williams, he showed me enough that I'm okay with him starting. We'll put it that way. When John Bostick was in there, he shot the hole. He read the plays well. He didn't always make the play. I think that'll come. I remember Bostick from when he played with Indy last year. When they played the Steelers, he had a tremendous game against the Steelers and against Le'Veon Bell. He can be a very, very good inside linebacker. Is he Ryan Shazier? No. Well, guess what? There's only one Ryan Shazier, and he is an out-of-this-world athlete. So when you're watching Tyler Matakevich, John Bostick, LJ Fort, whomever they're throwing out there alongside Vince Williams at inside linebacker, you cannot look at them through number 50 glasses. And when I say number 50, I mean Ryan Shazier. You can't look at them and expect to see the athleticism, the speed, the range, the sideline to sideline ability that Shazier had, because guess what? I can't think of another inside linebacker in the NFL that has those characteristics and those traits. So I liked what John Bostick did. They do need to improve on their tackling. I think it will. You got to remember, some of these guys are in a they're in their new uniform, like Morgan Burnett. That guy's been a Packer for life, and all of a sudden he's in a new team, New Jersey. John Bostick's bounced around as well. These rookies, there's got to be a little bit of nerves there. So I'm going to chalk that up to nerves. I think week 2 it should be better when they go to Green Bay. So there you go. Tell asked about Jalen Samuels, the running back, the 5th round draft pick from NC State. He didn't play much, and Mike Tomlin said after the game, if you listen to his press conference, that it could have been by design. They probably want to see Fitzgerald Toussaint, who I thought looked really good. James Conner got a lot of reps. I thought he looked really good. Stephen Ridley, for going behind a line that's 3rd and 4th string guys, I thought he looked okay. And Jalen Samuels he didn't really get a lot of opportunities. So I think that you're going to see him utilized more as the preseason plays out. Again, don't jump to conclusions with any of these players. Not with Edmonds, not with Davis, not with Samuels, no one. Because especially these young guys, you just don't know. You want to jump to conclusion about Juju Smith-Schuster, go for it, because he proved it last year, almost had 1,000 yards receiving. And what does he do? He picks up right where he leaves off with that 71-yard. Great high-pointed catch. Great high-pointed catch. And that's something that Martavis Bryant, for as freakish as he is as an athlete, struggled with his entire career. Okay, so keep that in mind. Good play by Juju. Let's see what else we have here. Justin says he feels like Edmonds will be shifted to inside linebacker, same size speed as Shazier. This is true, and this is what has been reported at training camp. If they go to that heavy dime or the dollar or the quarter, whatever people are calling it, it's been dubbed a bunch of different names, that he will probably be the one that drops down in the box and play that inside linebacker role. I'm not against that. I'm not against Vince Williams coming off the field as well as the other inside linebacker, because if you have a 3rd and long situation, I want that speed. I want that athleticism, because they're going to throw the ball. And if they run it, I have confidence that these guys, and as he said in the comment, Terrell Edmonds has good size, and he can tackle, and he can hit. So people should realize that. Same with Morgan Burnett. Very good tackler. Very short tackler. Bill says, Adeniyi, that's Ola, as I call him, because his name is ridiculous. Is he the new Silverback? You know what? No, I'm not going to say that, although he is from Toledo, which is Mac school, and James Harrison went to Kent, and they both were number 92. But let's talk a little bit about number 92. I mean, there are all these numbers that the Steelers have kind of unofficially retired. You don't see anyone wearing 86 the last few years since Hines Ward stepped down. You rarely see some of those, really key numbers from the past even being used. Boy, James Harrison left last year, and they've already given out 92 to an outside linebacker. I maybe it's just me that I thought like that. That's a little wow. I mean, I know he burned some bridges, but I didn't know that they were burnt that bad. But I guess maybe I'm wrong. Hey, he had a good show. Ola had a good showing, though. Had a very good showing. George asked Connor still can't pass block. He did miss a block that resulted in a sack. It's a work in progress with him. The sad part is that if he does not improve this aspect of his game, it's going to keep him from playing, period. Because in a real game situation, and this happened last year in week 5, when they played the Jacksonville Jaguars and Roethlisberger had 5 picks. One of those picks where Roethlisberger was rushed into a throw, tried to get it to Vance McDonald, and Jalen Ramsey made a tremendous play. It was James Conner that missed the block. They will not play him in situations where he's going to jeopardize the offense. And that means that Le'Veon Bell's going to, because Le'Veon Bell is an absolute phenomenal pass blocker. No one gives him credit for what he does in pass blocking situation. But at the same time, I honestly feel that if he can't shore this up, you're not going to see much of James Conner unless Le'Veon Bell gets hurt. So he has work to do. Everyone said, oh my gosh, he's getting better. All reports from backs on backers were great. He still has a lot of work to do, as was obvious on Thursday night where he missed that block. Someone asked, what do I make of reports that the Steelers should consider Dez Bryant 1-year contract? I'm not. No, I just personally, it's just personally me. I'm going to say no, based on the fact that for me, Dez Bryant is not what the Steelers need. I don't think they need that. They don't need another attention grabber. They don't need someone that could possibly cause a rift off the field if they don't get the ball enough. That's kind of what they got rid of when Martavis Bryant left. He was the guy that made the comments on Instagram about Juju Smith-Schuster. He was the one that told his agent he wants out of Pittsburgh. They don't need those distractions. If there's one thing this team doesn't need, it's more distractions. So, yeah, keep that somewhere else. He wants to go to Cleveland. He'll fit right in. Good luck. We'll play him twice a year. I'm not scared of Dez Bryant now, so go for it. He can go to Cleveland. Someone said, any news on Bell? He heard he will be in camp next week. I have not heard that rumor. I don't think it's true. If I were to think of a perfect scenario with Le'Veon Bell, it would be simple. And that's that Le'Veon Bell would be able to still hold out. I would have him going back to Pittsburgh when the team breaks camp. Because when the team is at St. Vincent College, they are constantly bombarded with media. There's media availability before almost every single practice. And so media are constantly asking questions. They want answers, and that can really wear on you. And when someone like Le'Veon Bell, you have to think, man, he is just constantly going to be getting hit with questions about the contract and why did he sit out and yada, yada, yada. If he waited until they broke camp, go back to Pittsburgh, he would be able to sit out the preseason games. Mike Tomlin would probably agree that, hey, you just stay here, you work with the team, I'll get you rest. I honestly think that would be fine, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be the same thing that happened last year. Prior to week 1, probably Monday, he'll show up, he'll sign his tender, he'll report for duty. I'll just be anxious to see how the team handles Bell in terms of workload from week 1 on, because we all know last year, weeks 1, 2, and 3, not very good. Some chalk that up to the defense they were playing. Some chalk that up to the offensive line not performing. And some chalk that up to rust with Le'Veon Bell. Whatever it is, he didn't perform, period. So I don't think, if he shows up, that's great. I don't think it'll happen. But if he does, that's my guess. So someone said that the Steelers should trade Le'Veon Bell. Understand they can't. They literally cannot unless he signs his franchise tag tender. And at this point in the game, this is not going to happen. The only thing that they can do now without him signing his franchise tag tender is to rescind that tag, in which case Le'Veon Bell would become an unrestricted free agent, just like Josh Norman was a few years ago when the Carolina Panthers rescinded his tag and he went and signed with the Washington Redskins. So let's move on. That's kind of a non-talking point at this point. Scott asked, how close is TJ Watt to returning? He's anxious to see his progression in year 2. All reports is that his hamstring should be pretty much healed up. They're going to ease him back into it. They're going to see, how it goes. They don't want to rush him back. They don't want this to be a lingering injury. I could see him maybe I could see him sitting out in week 2. I could also see him getting some time. But in regards to your question about him progressing, I totally could see him having a big year in this year. And I really hate myself, and I said this previously on the Standard as a Standard with Lance Williams. I really hate myself for not realizing this, but when he was in Wisconsin, he did almost all of his pass rushing from the left side. He would flip sides from time to time, but then when Pittsburgh drafted him, they wanted him on the right side because Dupree was on the left. And so the switch that they're making with Dupree moving to the right and Watt to the left should really work out well for TJ Watt. He has spoke openly to the media about how he's more comfortable from the left side. He feels that his moves are better from the left side. I honestly think that that's going to be a good spot for him. And he's still versatile enough to be able to guard out of the backfield in pass coverage as well as rush the passer. So I am excited as anyone, but I don't want to rush back either. So let's go through a couple more of these before we call it a show. Let's see here. Wow, someone said they heard a rumor that Le'Veon Bell is being traded for Khalil Mack. That would be insane. I didn't even think about that. That would be nuts. Would I be down with that? I don't know. That's a really good question. Would I trade Le'Veon Bell for Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack is unbelievable pass rusher. The Steelers don't have one of those currently. I mean, TJ Watt maybe, but Le'Veon Bell is a generational talent, in my opinion, at running back. I don't think you can just replace him like with the drop of a hat, like some people think. I'm going to think about that. I don't even know if it's true. I got to be honest. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, that would be tremendous. I don't think so, but would I pull the trigger? Would you all pull the trigger? Let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, go to the comment section. Would you pull the trigger on a straight up Le'Veon Bell for Khalil Mack trade? Man, I don't know. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he has to sign his tag and all that stuff, but still, it would be crazy. It would work. Like Aaron on Facebook just said it would work for both teams. Yeah, so we'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. You never know. Let's hear a couple other thoughts. I thought the Steelers played a pretty clean and disciplined game Thursday night, going back to that preseason game that we were talking about all along. I was pleased with the takeaways, but I also was pleased with the fact that the Steelers, and they might have been penalized a lot. I think 8 was the final total, but some of them were like Joshua Frazier, the rookie, got called for 2 pre-snap formation calls, and that's preseason stuff. I mean, they weren't the ones called for holding often. They didn't get any of those 15-yard infractions for leading with the head. And Mike Tomlin was very adamant afterwards that he was like, my gosh, yes, we have been hammering this home with these guys. Maybe they're listening. Maybe this could be a different team from all, top to bottom, the way they tackle, the way they play, the way they prepare. We'll be I'll be interested to see how that pans out. I'm sorry, that Khalil Mack to Le'Veon Bell thing has kind of blown my mind. So, with that said, I think that's a good stopping point. I hope that everyone gets to watch the game, and it is an entertaining game. Even for a week 1 preseason game, I thought it was very entertaining. It kept my attention the entire time. The Steelers will play again this Thursday when they go to Green Bay to play the Packers before they come back to Pittsburgh. I want to say they play the Tennessee Titans in week 3 and then finish up with the Carolina Panthers, as always, in week 4 at home. So, yeah, make sure you check out BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. We have a ton of content right now for everything from grades, the stock report, knee-jerk reactions. We've got the news about the stupid Deflate Gate nonsense, which turned out to be debunked by the NFL already. So if you're worried about rumors of the Steelers deflating footballs, the NFL has already said that that's not true. All procedures were done. So if you're worried about that, don't be. But yeah, really, I want everyone to know, if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're watching on YouTube, if you don't check out BehindTheSteelCurtain.com every day, you really should. We have at least 7 articles new every single day. Just if you really love the Steelers, it's your one-stop shop. I'm not just saying that. It really is. But if you're on Facebook Live and you didn't know that we have a YouTube page, we do. Go to YouTube, search bar BTSE Steelers Radio. Give us a subscribe, like our page. You'll see all our podcasts there. We appreciate it. Also, if you're on YouTube, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Behind the Steel Curtain. I'm Jeff Hartman, editor of Behind the Steel Curtain. I thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.